Welcome back to the show. Now, if you know me, you know I'm a foodie. If you need me pepper. So when it comes talking about food, oh goodness. But unfortunately, I don't have food in the studio today. But let's talk about a woman who does mouth-watering dishes. She has over 1 million subscribers. Hey, Adriane Honkwa followers. My guest this morning is Sweet Adjeley. The signature tune. Atiani Atono, right? Good to see you. Good morning.
To see you. Good morning.
What's your full name?
My name is Maklinana Adjeley.
Ah. Okay. Anyway, it's good to have you. But let's talk about Sweet Adjeley. When did you start cooking for you?
I started cooking at about 10 years old. So, yeah,
Oh, really?
I've always...
Where? Here in Ghana?
Here in Ghana, in La.
Okay. You lived in La for the most part of your life?
Yes.
What was growing up like?
It was... I wouldn't say it was perfect because I grew up in a single mother type of home. So, yeah, it wasn't, I can't say it was bad, but it wasn't perfect. So
When did you travel out?
I turned 17 on April. I turned.
I got to know how old you are.
I turned 17 on April 17th or 17th April, and then I left Ghana in May, like the very next month. So the whole of my 17 year I spent in.
Okay, so you spent 17 years of your life in Ghana, then from 17 up until now. You don't want to mention. But after life abroad, how was it for you?
Okay, when I first got there, I wouldn't say when I was in Ghana I was popular, but I was good. I was comfortable. And then it seemed I just went from somewhere where I was comfortable to a place where I was really uncomfortable. So I wasn't happy there.
No, you are not. You're part of the people whose stories are full of depression, pain, regret. Would you say that?
And so I can't say regrets because I didn't
come back.
I didn't go there. I had to go stay with my mom.
Okay.
So it was, I'm happy to be with my mom, but I'm unhappy where I am.
What was making you unhappy? For a 17-year-old?
Yes. So it was kind of like leaving your comfort zone to a place where you sounded different, you looked different, to where, because I went to high school there, and most people in high school are still very immature. And they will ask you things like, so do you run around with lions and stuff? Or how was it like wearing jeans for the first time? And I was wearing jeans all my life. So it was kind of weird, and it seemed people were looking down on who you are because of where you're from. And so I really didn't want to associate myself with the people there because I felt they didn't like me. So it was kind of like going from a place where you were loved to a place where you felt unloved.
In your discomfort, did you find solace in food?
I didn't eat a lot, so I think I was happy when at 17 I'll cook and people would think it was so delicious. Because most people in the US, cooking is not a big deal. You know, especially in Ghana for a girl, cooking was a big deal. But over there, it really wasn't. So they were impressed with it. And I loved the joy that I saw in people's faces when I cooked for them. So I think I started making nkatie cake for my auntie to take to church. And
for sale?
For sale.
Okay.
And when she took it for the first time, it sold out. And then after that, it will sell out before my auntie will leave the house because everybody's saying, I want 10, I want 20, I want this, I want that. So yeah, that was my first experience with people just loving what I had made.
Let's talk about food blogging for you. At what point did you start food blogging?
So I was a stay-at-home mom for about 10 years. And so when my youngest son went to school, that's where depression and anxiety set in for me, because you know things that happens in U.S. schools. So I would be home, and it seemed like sitting on eggshells until your children come home, and then you're okay. So it was depressing.
You never know if they'll come back safe.
So I don't know if it was me being controlling, and I felt like I had lost control of my kids for
Or you're just
about
being a
6
Ghanaian mom.
hours. Yeah, for about 6 hours. You don't know what's happening with your children until they came home. So at that point, I needed to do something. So I went back to work as a medical assistant. And at the same time, a friend of mine had told me about YouTube. I didn't know about YouTube.
How many years ago was this?
So I'll say in 98, I found out about, no, not 98, 2008,
Okay.
I found out about Facebook. So I got on Facebook just to see old friends, but I didn't know about YouTube. So I'll say in 2012, there maybe, a friend of mine told me about YouTube. So I just went on there and I saw videos, and then I stumbled upon food. But she had told me to put my food stuff, because when family members wanted a recipe, they asked me, and I'll type and send. And she said, why don't you put it there so that you can just share the link? So I watched from 2015, and then my first video went up 2017.
So it's not like a yesterday thing that you started. Yeah. But what challenges did you face? Was it very challenging for you? I mean, somebody introduced you to something, you get on there, putting your recipes there. Was it very challenging?
So initially, when I put a recipe that people don't know about, and I'll call it something and other people know it as something else. My first main thing that I had to come and make a whole video about was shito. And I made a recipe of red pepper, the one we use for kenke, shito. So I called it shito. And this, I suppose, was a young lady, said, you don't know anything. This is not shito. This is that red sauce, meko, that my mom uses to eat. We use it to eat kenke. It's not shito.
But that's how guys call it.
Because the black pepper is now
named
shito because of where it originated, from the Ga tribe. We call it shito. Pepper is shito for us. But some people don't know that. So in our household, shito is the red one, and shito ding is the black
one. Yeah, that's black pepper.
But people, it was just so people don't know that shito is also our shito. So some people came for me. So hopefully now they know. I don't know.
I hope so. They know. What's your creative process like?
Say that again.
Your creative process. How is it like? How do you come up with your recipes?
So usually it's just what we are going to eat. That's how it started. But then it came with requests. People will say, oh, I tried your recipe and it was the easiest, simplest, and it came out good. Can you show me how to make corned beef stew? Can you show me how to make chicken light soup? And so that also helps in creating a recipe.
What are some memorable feedbacks you've received on your cooking?
Oh, that's what keeps me going. It's so many. But one of the most important ones was a gentleman that sent me an email saying that whenever they're in the U.S., they want to meet me, and if I'm in Ghana, they want to host me because I saved their marriage. Because the wife started following me, and her cooking just changed. And So for it to be coming from a man, and I also commend the woman for telling the husband that, oh, I'm learning from Sweet Adjeley, to where the husband will reach out to say thank you. And I can never forget that.
That's very good when it comes to the woman's honesty.
Yeah.
What's your most challenging recipe ever?
I'm trying to think.
Is it always a walk in the park for you?
No. But I can't say. So, making spring roll wrappers, it was very challenging because of the pan that you needed to use. In Ghana, they make a certain stone, and
Or sometimes they just turn the frying pan.
Yes, they
use the bottom of the frying pan.
Yes, and I wasn't going to do that, and I couldn't take the stone with me, so I kept buying pans and trying it until I got.
You perfected
So
it.
that was a lot of dough that was going to waste, and I think one day my husband left me in the kitchen, went to work. My husband is a tennis instructor, so he's in and out of the house.
Okay.
But that day he was gone for like 6 hours. He came back and I was standing in the same spot, and he was like, "Babe," So I think the spring roll wrappers, they were the most challenging. So I usually don't review pots and pans, but after that recipe, I had to share the pan with my followers because I wanted them to get the right one.
Right one. How do you stay in tune with the latest recipes? Did you ever had to go to a cooking school, cooking class to upgrade yourself?
So when I was in Ghana, I went to Tema Secondary School and I took up home economics.
Okay.
But I didn't finish. I left Ghana. I went to Form 2. I only did the first term.
Okay.
And I left. And then when I got to the U.S., I ended up taking up dental assisting. When I was done with that, I went to the New York Restaurant School, where I took up culinary arts.
Okay.
So yes, it's not just cooking from home. I also went to culinary school.
But you know that over time, cooking has changed. How do you incorporate them in your recipes?
So most of the changes in our Ghanaian recipes, I can proudly say that I brought. It was very controversial. I simplified most of our recipes. For example, using just tomato paste for jollof instead of using tomato paste and tomatoes or tomato sauce. I can use just tomato paste to make jollof. And when you eat it, you wouldn't even know that it was just tomato paste. With peanut butter soup or groundnut soup, I stopped frying the peanuts before adding it to the soup.
I have never done that. I actually never understood the science behind it. Because once
frying
it,
yes,
I never understood it.
With me, that's how I learned how to make it. It just took one lazy day for me to say, I'm not about to take the whole day to fry this peanut that's already cooked before adding it to the soup. Apparently, the science behind that, peanut butter or groundnut soup can make you run.
Yes.
So the thinking is, if you don't cook it well, it will make you run. So you first have to fry it to ensure that it's properly cooked, and also for the oil to settle on top for you to know that the peanuts is good. Then you add water to it.
Exactly. It makes it raw again. I never understood.
You fry the water out of it just to add more water to it to make the soup. So when I did it that way, the soup tasted better. Well, for me. And so when I posted it, oh Lord, people were like,
The typical Ghanaian.
they're like, go back home and learn how to cook. You're here teaching people. If you're gonna teach Ghanaian recipe, teach it well. And there was this particular girl that really gave it to me. But I didn't see her comments until I think 2 years later. Somebody came to agree with her under her comment. At times, somebody may think you ignored their comment, but you didn't see it. It'll take somebody else's reaction to that comment to prompt you, because you didn't get their notification, but you may get that person's notification. So I saw that person's notification bashing me, and I followed it to the comment. By the time I got there, the original commenter,
The creator.
responded to the person that responded to her comment, like, oh, as for Sweet Adjeley, her recipes are the best. Like her original,
like a redemption.
yes. And when I saw that, I said, oh, I don't have to say anything, because like the mouth that brought you down will be the same mouth
praising you.
So, and it was beautiful. And I didn't respond to the person's response, but I thanked the original commenter for. Yeah, so that also, I mean.
Have you ever had moments where you thought that, listen, it's not even worth it doing this food blogging?
Okay, so there's been times where I've cried over comments.
Really?
And my husband would say, babe, call Akashi, ni never no fue, bafimo, you know? And he also encouraged me, like, you don't know the person behind the comments, especially YouTube. When somebody comments on YouTube, you have
can't find
no
them.
idea who
It's
they
not like
are.
Facebook or Instagram or even Twitter where you can go look out for their profiles.
So for those of us that started with YouTube, oh, we had some craziness going on. But on the other side, you could just touch the person, go on their page and say, oh, they can walk a day in my shoe. It's okay. But yeah, we get that all the time.
You mention your husband a lot. What's been his role in this?
Okay, so me growing up from primary school to secondary school, I would be the last person on your show. I don't talk. I hardly even look at people.
You actually appear so. You like to be in your space, in your corner, yeah?
Yes. My husband is the same way, but he was Ghana #1 for tennis for about 6 years before coming to the U.S. So I always say that when I met him, he didn't tell me who he was, but we would go out and people would treat him special, and I didn't get it until later on in our relationship. I found out who he was. So I always say that his stardom rubbed off on me.
Okay.
Because
he was in the spotlight.
And he played long tennis. I played table tennis when I was in Tamar school, but it wasn't a big deal. His was a big deal. And nobody would know me if he didn't rub off on me.
Is he also Ga?
Yes.
Okay, because I see you speak a lot of Ga. You haven't lost your Ga talent at all. I mean, for so many years. How has your 20 years journey been?
It has not been perfect, but it's been perfect. So, you know, in every relationship, we have up and downs. We've been together 23 years.
Oh, wow.
And we've had our fights, but I would say that the things that made us fight wasn't our own fight.
Okay.
So at a point, I'll say, let us fight our own fight. And we have not had a lot of that. But he's very protective to where at times I don't even get it. And then he'll say, I'm just protecting my thing.
Of course.
That's it.
Of course, who doesn't like that? Sometimes as women we think, oh, you should allow us have it, but they know gold when they see it. Yeah.
So. He knows where to say, this may sound weird, but there are certain places that when we go, if I wipe my hands with tissue, my husband will take it home. He will not leave it there. He'll take it home. And initially, I didn't get it, but as I get older, I get it. I appreciate him a whole lot. Because I may be in some trouble if not for him. Because our backgrounds are different. I was raised, I can go to sleep with my windows open. He will not sleep with the windows open. So, you know, there's a proverb in Ghana that says, no koyeje, no hanikawo, angashina, but not always for a thief. And my husband made me understand that.
Yeah, in this life, Charlie, no koyeje. Yeah, and I think that your husband needs a pat on the back.
Yes,
so you call him your accountability partner. Is
Yes.
it?
Yes.
What's your biggest reward in this food blogging business?
In this food, the guys that leave home and they come back and tell me that, Sweet Adjeley, I'm here or I'm there, I'm cooking because of you. That's my biggest reward. And also the young kids. Some are babies and they'll hear Sweet Adjeley's song. Who, my kids?
Yeah.
So 4.
Oh, wow.
My husband had one before we got married, and then together we had 3.
So you have 4, yeah.
But I'm talking about other people's babies that love Sweet Adjeley, like, and I get videos of young people saying, "Hello, sweet team, welcome back," and they're trying to cook.
But who gave you Sweet Adjeley?
So growing up, everybody always thought I was sweet. I was like that. So Sweet Adjeley wasn't something that people called me. They called me Miss Ghana more because I was so skinny. And so trying to set up Instagram, everything plus Adjeley was already taken. My name, Marklina, a lot of people don't have it. I put that in and it wasn't. But I didn't want Marklina because I felt I wanted to be known that I'm from Ghana. And I wanted to use Adjeley. So we put Pretty Adjeley, it was taken. Beautiful Adjeley was taken. A lot of other things. And then my cousin said, let's try sweet. So we put Sweet Adjeley and it wasn't taken. And so it wasn't intentional. Yeah. It was just...
And now you have a sweet team. What's the future like for you?
So the future...
And especially for somebody who is in the health sector and looking at how we cook our meals.
So my husband and I, we are looking to move to Ghana soon. The reason we're not here yet is because
of the children.
He grew up from a single parent home. I did too. And so how we made it here, we don't even know. But what we didn't have is what we're trying to give our children. And my youngest is starting high school come September. So we want to be there for him through high school. Then God willing, if he goes to college and he's away, we can also be away here. So when we come, we're looking to starting a small business.
Will you open a restaurant?
The type of restaurant is different from an everyday one. So I don't want to say because somebody may steal my
Of course,
idea, so, but it's going to be very special.
It's going to be sweet.
It's going to be very special. But you would...
How many years are we looking at in the next 2,
I'm giving myself about 5 years.
5 years.
4 to 5 years. But the people that comes to the restaurant must be willing to be on Sweet Adjeley. That's how it's going to be.
Okay. Sweet Adjeley. It's been good having you. Marklina. Anyway, so that's so Sweet Team. That's your Sweet Adjeley. She's here in Ghana. So anywhere you meet her, just call her Sweet. Yeah. This is GH Today. We're back shortly. Stay tuned in.
Continental food, madam. Food, madam. International food casting.